There's a moment you know well. You are on the subway, or in a waiting room, or across the table from someone you barely know, and your eyes meet theirs, just for a second. And something happens inside you that you cannot quite name. A flicker of something. Recognition, maybe. Or threat. Or connection. And then one of you looks away. You have done this 10,000 times. But you have never stopped to ask why. The answer is not politeness. It is not culture. It is not something your parents taught you. The compulsion you feel to make eye contact and the discomfort that comes with holding it too long is one of the oldest and most deeply wired survival systems in the human brain. It predates language by millions of years. And it is still running inside you right now, today, every time someone's gaze finds yours across a crowded room. Here's what is actually happening. Your brain has a dedicated region for detecting eyes. Not faces, not expressions. Eyes, specifically. It is called the superior temporal sulcus, and it fires the moment another pair of eyes enters your visual field, even if the face around them is blurry, even if you only catch the gaze in your peripheral vision, even if the eyes belong to a cartoon or a painting or a photograph. Neuroscientist Uta Frith at University College London spent decades studying how this system works, and what she found is startling. The eye detection system activates faster than conscious thought. Before you have registered that you are looking at a person, your brain has already run a threat assessment on their eyes. This did not evolve for elevator awkwardness. It evolved because your ancestors lived in a world where the wrong pair of eyes could mean death. Think about what a predator looks like. A lion, a wolf, a rival tribe member sprinting toward you through tall grass. Before you could see their teeth or read their posture, you could see their eyes. Locked on you. Unblinking. Direct forward-facing gaze from a predator is one of the most reliable signals in the animal kingdom that something is about to happen. Your nervous system learned this long before humans were humans. It is so deeply written into your threat detection architecture that even today, when a stranger holds your gaze a half-second too long, your amygdala, the brain's alarm center, triggers the same low-level alert it would have sent to your great-great-grandmother standing barefoot in the savannah. But here is the twist that makes this so strange. The exact same gaze that signals threat also signals the deepest form of human connection. A mother and her newborn lock eyes within hours of birth, and this act alone, this simple mutual gaze, floods both of them with oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Developmental psychologist Colwyn Trevarthen at the University of Edinburgh found that infants as young as 6 weeks old respond to direct eye contact, not just physically, but emotionally. They slow down, they focus, they smile. The gaze is not just information, it is communication before words exist. So you have inherited a brain that treats the same signal, someone looking directly at you, as potentially the most dangerous thing in the room or the most intimate. And it has to decide which one, in under 200 milliseconds. Every time. Whether you are meeting your boss, or your mother, or a stranger on a train. This is why eye contact feels like a tightrope. Hold it too long and something tips. The other person stiffens. The conversation loses its ease. The air changes in a way neither of you can explain, but both of you feel instantly. Psychologist Michael Argyll at Oxford spent years studying the precise mathematics of gaze in social interaction. What he found is that comfortable mutual eye contact in conversation lasts between 1 and 7 seconds at a time. The exact moment it crosses that threshold, the brain begins reading it as aggression, dominance, or obsession. The discomfort is not imagined. It is your ancient circuitry doing exactly what it was built to do. But too little eye contact triggers something too. Avoidance reads as shame, dishonesty, or disengagement. You know this instinctively. When someone cannot hold your gaze, something in you shifts. Trust erodes. You begin to wonder what they are hiding. This response is also ancient. In primate societies, gaze avoidance is a submission signal. It means, I am not a threat. I accept your dominance. In modern life, that signal gets translated into something far more complicated. weakness, guilt, fear, without anyone consciously deciding to interpret it that way. Your brain inherited this entire system from a primate ancestor who never spoke a word. Now layer culture over the top of it. And things get even more layered. In many Western cultures, sustained eye contact is expected, even demanded. Job interview advice explicitly tells you to maintain eye contact because it signals confidence and engagement. Eye contact in a first meeting communicates that you are present, that you are interested, that you are trustworthy. But in Japan, in many parts of Korea, in large regions of Africa and Latin America, prolonged direct eye contact with an authority figure is considered deeply disrespectful. Children are taught to look down, to look away, to lower their gaze as an expression of respect rather than evasion. The biology is the same, the wiring is the same, but the cultural script layered over it runs in the opposite direction. This is where it gets profound, because it means eye contact is simultaneously one of the most universal human behaviors and one of the most culturally relative. The impulse is pre-cultural. What you do with it is deeply learned. And both of these things are operating at the same time, every time your eyes meet someone else's. Researcher Ralph Adolphs at Caltech has studied individuals with damage to the amygdala, the brain region most involved in threat detection and social processing, and what he found is extraordinary. People with amygdala damage often show an unusual behavior. They look directly at other people's eyes far more than neurologically typical individuals do. They do not seem to experience the discomfort, the faint alarm, the subtle pull to look away. In a sense, they are free from the tightrope. But what they gain in ease, they lose in accuracy. They miss subtle threat cues. They misread social danger. The discomfort you feel when you hold a stranger's gaze 1 second too long is not a flaw in your social wiring. It is the system working. It is your brain telling you that you are in social territory that requires attention. Eye contact is not just about seeing. It is about being seen. And those are very different things. When you look at someone, you are gathering information. Their expression, their attention, what they are thinking. But when you let yourself be looked at, when you hold the gaze instead of deflecting it, you are doing something riskier. You are exposing yourself to being read. You are removing the shield. And somewhere below your conscious thought, your nervous system registers that vulnerability every single time. The flutter you feel before speaking in front of a crowd, the strange gravity of eye contact with someone you find attractive, the unbearable intimacy of looking at someone who is crying. These are not emotional accidents. They are ancient systems doing exactly what they evolved to do. There is one more thing, something researchers have only recently started documenting. Human beings are almost unique among primates in the shape of our eyes. Most primates have dark irises against dark sclera. The white part of the eye is barely visible or not visible at all. This makes it very difficult to know exactly where a great ape is looking. Their gaze is hidden, but human eyes have brilliantly white sclera surrounding a colored iris, making our gaze direction extraordinarily readable from a distance. Anthropologist Hiromi Kobayashi theorized that this evolved specifically to allow cooperation, to let other humans know precisely where you were looking without turning your head, without pointing, without words. Your eyes became a communication system, a signal that broadcasts your attention to anyone watching. You are, at this very moment, broadcasting. Every person around you can read your gaze the way your ancestors read footprints, for direction, for intent, for danger, for invitation, and your brain knows this. Somewhere below the level of language, it has always known this, which is why eye contact never quite feels neutral. It is never just looking. It is an act of mutual exposure, of vulnerability, of ancient animal recognition dressed up in modern manners. Tonight, when someone's eyes find yours across a room and something flickers in your chest, you will know what that is. It is not awkwardness. It is not anxiety. It is your brain running a program that has been running for millions of years. It is the same calculation your ancestors made in tall grass, on a savanna, around a fire, looking up at the eyes of something that was looking back. And in that half second before one of you looks away, everything that makes you human is compressed into a single moment. You are recognized, and you recognize.